Romance in the workplace is more likely to turn into marriage than meeting in bars or at a friend's house. Women are more influenced and persuaded by a man's sense of humor than his looks. After orgasm, the hormone prolactin is released, which is responsible for the feeling of relaxation and sleepiness. Shaving and waxing pubic hair has been linked to an advanced likeliness of constricting stress. A 2008 survey revealed that the French had the most sex at 137 times per year, well above the global average of 103. Some cultures, like France, see oral sex as a natural part of sexual arousal and foreplay. According to Men's Health, foreplay is to sex what stretching is to a workout. Easy to skip, but essential for great result. When a woman's vagina literally falls out and hangs between the legs, this condition is called pelvic prolapse. Although the withdrawal or pull-out method is better than totally unprotected sexual intercourse, it's not great at preventing pregnancy. Everyone experiences sexual problems sometimes, and a trained sex therapist can help you identify the underlying issues and work them out. The most effective sex toy is your voice. It's perfectly okay to ask for what you desire. 1 in 6 women have never had an orgasm, which is about 15% of women. The idea that sex must lead to orgasm can be a very damaging thought for people of all genders and sexualities, as it puts undue pressure on them and can cause anxiety. The truth is that no couple is perfectly matched, and libidos change over time and circumstance. Nearly 1 in 10 dreams contain some R-rated sexual content, and that's true for both men and women, according to a study published by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Women actually get erections in their genitals, and even though they're smaller than the male counterpart, they are just as important. 3% of people have no sexual fantasies at all. A headache may actually make you more in the mood. Migraine sufferers reported higher levels of sexual desire. Forget lingering. If you want to increase your chance of having an orgasm, keep your socks on during sex, says research done by the University of Groningen. A big penis won't stretch out or ruin a vagina. Americans in relationships reported having sex 16 fewer times per year from 2010 to 2014, compared to between 2022 and 2004, according to a 2017 study. People in their 20s have sex more than 80 times per year, declining to 60 times per year by age 45 and 20 times per year by age 65. When it comes to pleasure, penis girth is more important than length. Forget what you see in porn. Pounding or fast, hard thrusting doesn't turn most women on, and it can actually cause pain and injury. Your brain is less attentive during intercourse, as the trigger for fear and anxiety is switched off during orgasm. Women are more likely to cheat on their partners when they are ovulating. Women reach the peak of pleasure through stimulation rather than penetration. Some women like to be touched gently, while others like a lot more sexualization. Every woman's sexual preference is different. Being tied up increases a person's ability to reach orgasm. After menopause, the clitoris can be 2.5 times larger than when the same woman was a teenager. No wonder some women have stronger orgasms in their midlife and 50s. Despite what men claim, only 15% have a penis longer than 7 inches. Only 3% have a penis more than 8 inches long. Nearly 10% of all dreams include sex. Research has shown that orgasms experienced during sex cause us to release 400 times more prolactin, which tends to make people feel sleepy and satiated, than from those from masturbation. orgasms can lower a woman's risk of heart disease, stroke, breast cancer, and depression. The surge of oxytocin that occurs during orgasm triggers a release of feel-good endorphins that act as powerful pain relievers. 80% of women will experience a condition that causes chronic painful sex. Sensation started in the clitoris can spread across the pelvic area, affecting about 1/500 other nerve endings. A recent fertility survey in Denmark found that 55% of women are not having as much sex as they would really like. 1 in 5 people use their smartphones during sex. At least adults between 18 and 34 years old do, according to a survey by Harris Interactive. Great sex doesn't come naturally, it's a learned skill. The clitoris actually has a pretty similar anatomy to a penis, with glands, a foreskin, and a shaft. The vagina averages 3 to 4 centimeters in length, but can expand by 200% when sexually aroused. Sex is a great addition to your regular workout. Farting during sex happens. Clitoris grows throughout a woman's lifetime. There are some foods, such as raspberry, that can increase sexual desire. Researchers conducted the survey of over 7,000 and found that 51% of them said they could go longer without sex than they could go without coffee. A sense of humor is the sexiest attribute. Women can get pregnant 5 to 8 days after having sex. Female ejaculation, or better known as squirting, is not a myth. Many women claim to have experienced this while masturbating, not with a man. Spreadsheet, a relationship app created to help users monitor their performance in the bedroom, ranked states by their staying power between the sheets. The states with most stamina: New Mexico, West Virginia, Idaho, South Carolina, and Missouri. Sex should never hurt. Wearing high heels can negatively affect a woman's orgasm. During orgasm, the woman releases the famous and precious hormone endorphin, known as the happiness hormone. It also helps to relieve physical and emotional stress. People who sleep face down on their stomach, with their arms stretched above their head, have more sexual dreams. An apple a day can boost your sex life. Studies have shown that orgasms can make women more confident, productive, and creative. Nearly 1 in 10 dreams contain some R-rated sexual content. And that's true for both men and women, according to a study published by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Forget what you see in porn, pounding or fast. Hard thrusting doesn't turn most women on, and it can actually cause pain and injury. Women actually get erections in their genitals, and even though they're smaller than the male counterpart, they are just as important. When it comes to pleasure, penis girth is more important than length. 3% of people have no sexual fantasies at all. People in their 20s have sex more than 80 times per year, declining to 60 times per year by age 45 and 20 times per year by age 65. A headache may actually make you more in the mood. Migraine sufferers reported higher levels of sexual desire. Americans in relationships reported having sex 16 fewer times per year from 2010 to 2014, compared to between 2000 and 2004, according to a 2017 study. Forget lingerie. If you want to increase your chance of having an orgasm, keep your socks on during sex, says research done by the University of Groningen. A big penis won't stretch out or ruin a vagina. Please take out 2 seconds of your time to hit the subscribe button and like the video. It really helps my channel grow. Thank you so much. Now, let's get back to the video. Men can orgasm without ejaculating. Orgasm and ejaculation are two distinct physiological responses in men. The two actually occur in rapid succession, with orgasm coming slightly before ejaculation. Breakup sex isn't always a bad idea. Having sex might get you your next promotion. And no, we're not talking about sleeping with your boss. It turns out that having a happy sex life was linked with improved job satisfaction and greater engagement at work. Eggs have sophisticated biological mechanisms that actively choose which sperm they allow in. And it isn't always the first one to arrive. Men suffer from low libido as much as women do. Science says the best time to have sex is right before bed. It's rare, but it's possible to lose your sexual sensation if you go for long periods without sex. 75% of women don't orgasm from normal penis-in-vagina sex. Most people seem content to keep their sexual fantasies as strictly that, imaginary. Less than 1/3 of participants in the study reported having ever acted out their most prominent fantasy. Vibrators were first developed as a medical device. Just because you've completed intercourse doesn't mean you've had sex. Just because your partner may appear clean and attractive on the outside doesn't mean they're free of STDs. Older people have some of the best sex. In fact, having a lot of sexual experience can mean your sex life is more fulfilling than younger people's. You can have an STD and not know it. This is why it's so important for all sexually active adults to get regular screenings. The single most popular sexual fantasy amongst Americans today is multi-partner or group sex, followed by BDSM. The entire body is capable of arousal, pleasure, and stimulation, so making sex focus solely on genitals can lead to performance pressure. Many demographics, including political leaning, affect sexual fantasy statistics. For instance, compared to Democrats, Republicans were more likely to fantasize about sexual activities that are typically considered immoral, like infidelity and orgies. The penis and vagina account for less than 10% of erogenous zones. Many men suffer from delayed ejaculation. This could be because they've become accustomed to a certain kind of pressure and speed from manually masturbating, and now find that difficult to replicate with a partner vaginally or orally. 80% of women will experience a condition that causes chronic painful sex. You can break a penis. Getting a penile fracture is a real thing that can and does happen. Great sex doesn't come naturally. It's a learned skill. Sexting can improve your relationship. A cucumber is not a sex toy. Farting during sex happens. A sense of humor is the sexiest attribute. Having a happy, regular sex life isn't just good for your mood, but studies have shown it can also improve your heart health, boost immunity, and lower your risk of some cancer. When it comes to porn, life should not imitate art. Sex should never hurt. The secret to my blowing sex? Lube. Lack of erection doesn't mean he's not turned on. An erection alone does not mean that it is penetration time and is not